In this video, I'm going to go over the basic terminology of search engine optimization, or SEO, so that you know exactly how to get a web page on the first page of Google. By the way, my name is Clint, and on this channel I give tutorials on things like content marketing, SEO, web design, and more. So if that's your jam, consider subscribing to stay updated when new content comes out. Search engine optimization is the process of creating web pages that are the most likely to show up in search engine result pages, or SERP. Basically Google, DuckDuckGo, and Bing. There are a number of different factors that determine if a web page shows up in search results, but the most important thing to start out with is an understanding of domain authority. So what is domain authority? Every website has a domain authority. Domain authority is a number between 1 and 100 that increases depending on how many other websites link to your website. When a website links to your website, this is called a backlink. If a website with a domain authority of 70 links back to you, this is a bigger boost than if a website with a domain authority of 12 links to you. It also helps if the website linking to you is connected to your industry or near your physical location if you're a local business. The more backlinks you get from other websites to you, the higher your domain authority will be. And domain authority is like becoming cool and popular because other cool and popular kids have said that they like you.
And being liked is the ticket to the top.
So this domain authority number is a little different depending on which SEO or search engine optimization tool that you use. There's Ahrefs and SEMrush and Mazda, and all have similar domain authority checkers. You can check yours for free using Mazda's domain analysis tool. Just plug in you or even a competitor's URL and it will generate the domain authority and even show the top linking sites. Another great tool that I like to use is the free Chrome extension Keywords Everywhere. Type anything into Google and it will give you the domain authority of the first page search results. This will come in handy later on when determining which keywords to go after. And you may be wondering, what is a good domain authority? Well, use this chart as a solid guide. So if your domain authority is between 0 and 30, you're usually a small business or a startup. If your domain authority is between 30 and 50, you're either a small business with a strong digital presence or you're a big business with a weak digital presence. If your domain authority is between 50 and 60, you're like a niche publisher or a brand with a mature content program. You've been around for a minute. If you have a domain authority between 60 and 70, these are usually things like daily blogs, enterprises, or major brands. If you have a domain authority between 70 and 90, you're a media company. All you do is put out content, or you're a global brand. And if you have a domain authority between 90 and 100, probably not watching this course, you are a large tech giant. You're like YouTube or Facebook or LinkedIn. The reason this is important is because Google considers domain authority when choosing which website to show in search results. Basically, it trusts your website more if other websites have also trusted you by linking to you. Okay, so we want to have a high domain authority for our website. Cool. How do we get other websites to link to our website? Well, here is what doesn't work. If your website only has pages on it that talk about your product or service, then no one is going to link to your website. People do not usually link to product or service pages. And remember, no backlinks, no increased domain authority. However, people do link to helpful resources, to tutorials or guides, and these are often called blogs. Therefore, if you want to give your product or service pages with commercial intent a chance to show up in organic search results, then you need to create and rank helpful blog posts with informational content too. Key phrases are what people type into search engines to find your stuff. The words that make up these key phrases are called keywords. Now, key phrases are separated into two camps. The first is your primary keyword phrases. These are keywords that someone would type into search engines when they're trying to buy your stuff. These are your product or service pages on your website. These key phrases have commercial intent. It's important to create content for these words first because all of your blogging efforts and content efforts are going to be going towards building these pages up. For example, Atlanta marketing agency is a primary keyword because someone usually searches for this when they're looking for marketing services. The second group of key phrases is your secondary key phrases. People who type these in have informational intent, meaning they just want to learn. This is the stuff that you're going to blog about. These words are sometimes called long tail keyword phrases because they can be up to 5 words or more. And sometimes they can also be questions too. For example, how content marketing drives sales is a long tail secondary key phrase. Think of every key phrase as a competition and every web page as a potential competitor. If you have not created a page, meaning a specific URL for that keyword phrase, then you have yet to enter the competition. Also, if the page is not highly detailed and informative, usually over 1,500 words, then you don't have a strong competitor. Let me break this down and make it super simple. Your homepage should target the most important primary key phrase that you want to rank for. Your product or service pages are where you are trying to rank your other primary keyword phrases. And then your blog content is where you're going to target your secondary key phrases. To summarize, let's look at this chart to show the differences between your product and service pages and your blog pages. So the goal of your product or service pages is to sell or to generate qualified leads, where the goal of your blog posts are to teach, to grow awareness, to build subscribers, or to get backlinks to boost up those other pages. For your product or service pages, the SEO is going to be around commercial intent phrases. We call these money phrases because people who type these in are looking to spend money. Whereas the SEO for your blog posts are going to be informational intent questions. So you're trying to give answers. We call the key phrases for your product or service pages primary key phrases. We're going to call the key phrases for your blog post secondary key phrases. For your product or service pages, your call to action is going to be something like buy, get in touch, or schedule. The call to action for your blog posts are going to be things like subscribe or to download a lead magnet. On your product or service pages, you're going to link out to things like case studies or other product or service pages. But on your blog posts, you're going to link out to things like third-party research, other blog posts, or your product or service pages. Your product or service pages will not have links to your blog post or to other websites, whereas your blog posts are not going to be self-promotional or salesy. Basically, people who are on your product or service pages are looking to buy, or people who are on your blog posts are looking to learn. Okay, so once we have these keywords, what do we do with them? How do we use them? Well, in a later course, I'm going to show you exactly how to find them and use these keywords. But for now, you should know the other places where they like to show up. There are 5 other places where keywords are also going to be showing up in your website. Number 1 is your URL slug or your domain name. That's the actual thing that people type in to find an exact web page. Number 2, the meta title of your web page, also known as a title tag. This is the title that displays in search engines. And most website builders have a specific place where you can enter this in for a page. But if you don't, it'll just pull the title of your page, also known as the heading 1 or H1. This is also going to show up in the little tab for your page. You can see it by hovering over it at the top next to your page's favicon. That's the name of the little image in the tab. Number 3, the subheadings of your web page. These are the sections that you use to divide and organize your content, also known as H2s and H3s for heading 2 and heading 3. Number 4, body paragraphs. These are also known as semantic keywords, and semantic here just means language. And basically, it's the words that people also use when talking about your key phrase. For example, if my key phrase is teen mental health treatment, some semantically related keywords might be depression, trauma, and anxiety, because people who often talk about those things also talk about teen mental health treatment. Number 5, lastly, the description of your images. This helps people with vision impairments, but it can also be a big boost for your SEO strength. Now, if all you had to do is have the right keywords on the web page, then you could just copy and paste some words and bam, front page, right?
No, not really.
Well, Google is actually smarter than that. and it's continuously updating its stuff to be more helpful. In addition to the words on your page, Google looks at a few other factors. Click-through rate. This is how likely someone is to click on the title of your webpage when it shows up in search results. Bounce rate. If somebody clicks on a webpage and then immediately leaves because it seems like it's the wrong fit for what they're looking for, or if the page doesn't seem helpful, this is called a bounce. Content length. Google is trying to display the best content to answer somebody's search query or question, and longer content tends to be more complete, and therefore Google prefers to show it in search results. Dwell time, also known as time on page. If somebody lands on your website and stays there for a long time, so the opposite of a bounce, Google then thinks it is a good web page because people would leave if it wasn't. To sum it up, for search engines, you need to create a web page that is long enough, has the right keywords in it, and that you have a high enough domain authority to rank for. And then for humans, you want to have a clickable title and a web page that is very helpful and causes them to stay on that page to get as much value as possible. So the rest of this course is about how to actually do this stuff. And I'm going to show you how step by step. In the next course, I'm going to show you how to go and find those primary and secondary keywords for your specific business. If you want a free SEO guide and checklist that covers this and all the other courses and stuff that I talk about in this video and more, then click the link in the description box to download it for yourself. If you want to see the next part of this course, then click the next video here. I mean, what are you waiting for? You should click it. Right there. So, or is it? I'm not sure. When I edit this, I can't remember because it's inverted which way it goes. It's on one of these